What's up, guys? We're gonna bro beats. Today I'm gonna be showing you guys how to make some quick melodies and beats without necessarily having chord progressions. If you guys haven't subbed already or turned post notifications on, make sure you do so because it does help out a lot. Okay, so let's grab in a scale real quick, and I'm gonna just go with I'm not gonna use the F. Let's use C minor. Okay, to name it. Boom. So quickly we can go over sound selection. I got some like ambient sounds here because, well, I just picked ambient sounds. All right, hopefully you can hear that because it's kind of low. Then we got this one. Okay, another flute, and we got this one that's actually delayed. So, all right, it's kind of faint, can barely hear it. And I got this bell. That's what I'm using. All right. Now, if you saw me use this particular bank in a video a minute ago or whatever, you can get this. There is a Noti Gang sale going on right now. If you do want it, all right, only buy it if you want it and you like the sounds. Make sure you watch the preview and stuff if you want to check it out. But that's all I'm gonna say on it. Links will be in the description, blah, blah, blah. Let's get started with the melody. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with our melody. Now, this part is pretty easy, especially with not making the chords portion. All right, so what we can do is start on our root, and this is like the easiest. This is literally the easiest way to make melody. Now, you either have these 2 points or these 2 points. If you use these 2 points, it will give you a slightly different sound. All right, but that's a big jump. You can see it'll give you a slightly different sound. We go down here. Right, this one I feel is more structured, right? I guess that's the word, structured, and it just gives a darker sound. So that's why we're gonna use these. Now, what we could do, because we don't want to make this complicated, we want it to be easy, right? Maybe you're having a bad day, you're not really trying, you can't be creative. This is what you can do. All right, now look. Now you can see it's a little odd. So what we could actually do, you could stretch these out like this, but you can see it's not on the grid. So what we need to do is go to thirds. So usually when I make melodies like this, what I would do is use a thirds grid. Okay. And the reason for that is because it's less notes. Instead of 4 notes per beat, it's going to be 3, which means it'll be less annoying because these type of melodies will get annoying. And we can just really just copy this all the way out. Turn these down. All right, so now what we need to do is add some other tones. So we're not technically making a chord, but you can use the same methods for making a chord to finish this off. So if you're like, okay, I don't know what notes to add to this, well, you start on your top note, right, and skip, and basically start making a chord from here. All right, so that G will be in harmony with this D sharp. So what we could do is take that, all right, and use this as like our bass note. And then we can use that D sharp as our bass. And you could try other ones. Just because I'm using a certain note doesn't mean you have to, okay? It's just my preference. And let me zoom in. I should probably use different sounds. All right, that's a lot better. So let's copy this over. And then we can just add a few tones to this. So, and I want to keep it dark. So I'm looking for like these half steps, right? So like stuff like this, that's what I'm looking for. Doesn't mean you have to end on it, but just like where I start is important. So I'm gonna just try this one. All right, and we could do the same thing here, but this one's easier because all we have to do is place these here. And just copy this back up to our first melody. So now we just did 2 in 1 pretty much. All right, so let's move on to like the counter melodies now that that's explained and everything. All right, so now let's do our counter melody. Now there's 2 ways to do this, and I'm gonna kind of demonstrate that on both these sounds. So the first way is like the safe way, the easiest way. You really don't need to think necessarily. And the second way is just a little bit more difficult because now you're kind of opening yourself up to more possibilities. But with the first way, you're just using your blueprint, right? So what I mean by that is by default, the root will sound good, right? So we can take our root, and then I usually take my highest note that I have. So it could be this one, right? In this case, or if we were over here, it could be the G as our highest in our root, or the lowest note. So that's how I like pick it out without actually trying it. So we can just do a C and a G sharp. Let's just take this D sharp for something on the side. So let's go over here, paste it, pull it out, see what this sounds like. Let's pull that up. Now, what we could do here is you could pick any note. You don't necessarily have to go on the blueprint, right? So we could try this G if you were to go on the blueprint and see if it sounds good. Right, I would say they all sound good, but to me, I think this G sharp sounds better. All right, so now we got our like harmony little counter or whatever. So now what we do, we copy this, right? Paste it. Since we already got a D sharp here, just shrink these. And this is just for variation, just so it's a little different. All right, simple as that. So now for our second one, and this is a flute. So now we can open up more possibilities. So it's the same process, except now you gotta do a little bit more thinking, right? But to take some of the thinking out, it's the same thing. Just start on our G, right? And then we got these notes to work with. So this is pretty much our range, right, for our flute. So let's go here, and we are still in the thirds. All right, just so you know. So I like to start my flute. I like to offset the flute a little bit. So we could do something like this. And let's actually do on the beat for this one because I want this to at least be on beat. Right, and that's a really cool way to start it. I usually, if you have notes like this, right, and then the middle note, you can start the next set from the middle note, right, just so it's kind of, the tones are overlapping, right, so it's in harmony. All right, because if I were to probably keep going up, it would sound good, but it'll start to get a little annoying. Okay, so go ahead. And I like to also just go down, right, with the flute. Stretch this one out. Now, if you look at the notes, you'll notice something. Now, if I stretch these out and show you, right, we're using all the same notes we just used in our harmony right here. All the same exact notes. It's just the order that they're placed in is different. So just keep that in mind. All right, so now we can go, just finish this off. Let's keep this pattern going. You could just copy this over just to make it easier. All right, and now let's copy this over. Now this is like a delay sound, so I'm gonna pull this up an octave, and this just gives it a little bit of bounce. All right, so that's our entire melody with counter melody. So now let's move on to the beat. Okay, so now we're gonna start on our 808 and then to the drum. So go here, and you know, this stuff is easy. 808, we'll just start on a root, right? Pull this up a little bit. Let's change that grid to 1/4. All right, and then what I'm gonna do over here is we could offset this, right, to give it a little cool effect. I want to do something here. Let's see. All right, so that's pretty much the bass, right? Just using the same thing, bro. Everything's in harmony, using the same exact notes we use for our counter melodies and everything, right? And just start on our root, and we good to go. So now let's go ahead and actually do the kicks and the hi-hats and stuff. All right, so now let's just do our kick. So what we're gonna do is right click, copy, paste it on our kick. So now it should pop up here. Control A, so highlight everything, and then Alt K to make it on one line or like on one note. And now from here, we just take out stuff or add things that we want. So it's just kind of here. Just take out a few notes. All right, that's good enough. So now for the claps and stuff, I'm gonna start a new pattern, and I already set this up so it's a little easier. And I like to do this so I don't have to do so much. And if I want to change anything, I could always click here and go to make unique and just make a new pattern. But this is just easier workflow. So let's put the claps down, do something like this, pull the velocity up, maybe not that high. Go to song, and let's just try some with these hi-hats. I thought it would be cool just to only use hi-hats for like the perks and, you know, stuff. So let's see. And let's fix this hat. I'm gonna use clap. All right, so now we got our beat done. So now let's just play it and I'll just show the melody part, I guess. And here we go. All right, that's going to be it for this video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.